Imagine this. It's a quiet morning, and you're sipping coffee, looking out the window, reflecting on your life. You're successful, financially free, and fulfilled. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the thing. Most people never reach this point. They're held back by crucial financial mistakes, usually made in their 20s. Now, you're not here to become average. You want a wealthy, purposeful life. So stick with me, and I'll show you the 7 biggest mistakes you must avoid to achieve financial freedom before it's too late. Some of these might shock you, and one mistake at the end is one even high earners make. Ready? Let's dive in. Mistake number 1, living paycheck to paycheck. Imagine this cycle. You get paid, cover bills, buy a few treats, and by the end of the month, there's barely anything left. Many in their 20s fall into this trap, not because they're reckless, but because they haven't set up a financial safety net. Living paycheck to paycheck drains not just your bank balance, but also your energy and potential. Financial stress can affect your health, your relationships, your opportunities. But here's the truth. Breaking this cycle is within your control. The key? Building an emergency fund and learning to budget. Even saving a small percentage each month can put you miles ahead. And no, one more round of drinks doesn't count as a budget line item. Now, if saving money sounds impossible, the next mistake will reveal why many never even get a chance to start. Mistake number 2, falling into lifestyle inflation. As you climb the career ladder, it's tempting to spend more. Nicer clothes, a better car, maybe an expensive coffee habit. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the biggest barriers to building wealth. Think of it like running on a treadmill. No matter how much you increase your income, if your spending rises with it, you'll always feel like you're stuck in the same place. The new car, the designer brands, they feel exciting for a moment, but they lose their value quickly. The emotional high doesn't last, but the financial burden does. But here's the shocking part. There's one big area where people spend that almost guarantees they stay broke. And I'll tell you what that is in mistake number 3. Mistake number 3, spending too much on rent. Rent is one of the most significant expenses young adults face. In fact, overspending on rent is like pouring money into a black hole month after month. It leaves you with little room to save, invest, or work toward financial freedom. But here's the hard truth. It's not just about finding cheaper rent. It's about choosing lifestyle over long-term wealth. Some of the wealthiest people started with modest homes and worked their way up as they invested in their future. Remember, financial stability isn't about where you live right now. It's about where you want to be a decade from now. Ever heard the phrase champagne taste on a beer budget? Don't be that person. Now that we've looked at the big expenses, let's talk about something that sounds harmless, but could cost you thousands. Mistake number 4, ignoring debt early on. Debt is often seen as something to deal with later, but ignoring it in your 20s is a huge mistake that compounds over time. Credit cards, student loans, and other debts can spiral out of control quickly thanks to high interest rates. Debt is like a weight on your shoulders that grows heavier every day. Imagine carrying that weight into your 30s and 40s. It drains your options and limits your freedom. Instead of investing or taking risks, you're stuck paying for yesterday's choices. Here's a tip. Prioritize paying down high-interest debt as fast as possible, even if it means sacrificing some luxuries now. And here's something even scarier. Mistake number 5 is one that's hiding in plain sight, and it could be keeping you poor without you even realizing it. Mistake number 5, relying only on a single income stream. Here's a hard reality. One paycheck from one job makes you financially vulnerable. If something happens, a layoff, an economic downturn, your financial security is gone overnight. Building additional income streams, whether it's freelance work, a side hustle, or investing, creates stability. It's not just about making more money. It's about creating resilience in an unpredictable world. Think about it. Even a small side income can grow into something that gives you freedom and peace of mind. And no, selling your old sneakers on eBay once doesn't count as a side hustle. Speaking of stability, let's move to one mistake that goes beyond income and speaks directly to your future. Mistake number 6, ignoring investments. Investing may seem daunting, especially if you're just starting out, but failing to invest in your 20s means you're missing out on the greatest financial advantage you'll ever have: time. Compound interest, the snowball effect of earning returns on your returns, works magic over decades. Even small, consistent investments in your 20s can multiply into massive wealth by the time you retire. Don't wait for the perfect moment or income level to start investing. The earlier you begin, the more freedom you'll have later. And that brings us to the final mistake, one that could derail everything you've worked for if you don't address it. Mistake number 7, not setting financial goals. Failing to set financial goals is like setting out on a road trip with no destination. You might enjoy the ride for a while, but eventually you'll feel lost. Without clear goals, it's impossible to stay motivated or make smart financial choices consistently. Your goals don't need to be complex. Maybe you want to save $10,000 by age 30 or own a home within the next decade. Setting financial goals gives you something tangible to work toward, something that makes every sacrifice worthwhile. And remember, goals can evolve. The important part is to start. You see, financial freedom isn't a destination. It's a series of decisions, small steps, and a mindset. Your 20s are a critical time where the habits you build can set you on a path to freedom, or one filled with stress and limitation. And here's the best part. Every mistake we talked about today can be avoided, starting right now. The journey to financial success doesn't require perfection. It just requires action. If you're serious about avoiding these mistakes and want to dive deeper into the real secrets of building wealth, check out my next video on the untold truth about money, 6 wealthy secrets 99.5% people don't know. These are the game-changing insights that can take you from good to great.